Hey everyone, my name's Laura. I'm a teaching artist with Mocha, and today I want to show you a really fun art project using recyclable materials found around the house. Today we are going to be using TP rolls to make some really fun artwork. We're going to be making trees. If you have paper towel rolls that are really tall, this is a great project for them. If you don't, you can use TP rolls. They will look just as fabulous. For this project, you will need some glue. You'll need some tissue paper. Any color you have on hand is fine. Scissors, and of course, a TP roll. Now, to show you how to do this project, I'm going to change the camera angle to face down so that you can see my workspace. So here you can see I have ripped up some colored tissue paper by taking the paper and ripping it into long strips. These strips I'm going to use for my leaves. Now I am using what colors I have on hand. I happen to have rainbow colors, which I will use. Now I'm going to take my TP roll and I'm going to make a slit about 1 inch long for my branches. If you're not sure how long an inch is, look at your finger, and at the first knuckle, chances are it's about 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut 1 inch into my TP roll. Now remember, when using scissors, it's always important to make sure that the tip or the pointy end is faced away from you. You never want to cut using the scissors towards your fingers or towards your body. That is dangerous. When using scissors, you want to make sure safety comes first. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut maybe 1 inch into my paper core, and I'm going to twist and continue cutting all the way around until I get back to the first slit that I made. And now I want to flare out my branches so that it looks like a tree. So right now it looks like a winter tree, a bare tree, right? Now it's time to do the fun part. Remember those fun strips of tissue paper that we already made? So these are going to be our leaves. And what we're going to do is we're going to crumble them up. Now, it doesn't need to be in a tight little ball. You just want to crumble it to give it some fun texture so that it looks like a cluster of leaves. Then you're going to take your glue and you're going to add a dot of glue to your paper core. Now remember guys, a dot is a lot. You do not need a lot of glue. In fact, if you use too much glue, it's going to get goopy, it's going to get sticky, and it's going to be really hard to do this art project. So remember, a dot goes a long way. So now that I have my crumbled tissue paper, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick it right on top of that dot of glue that I put onto my paper core. And I'm going to repeat the whole way around. So I might alternate colors and then stick it on. Now, if you don't have tissue paper, you can always use regular paper. You can cut out leaf shapes, you can make patterns on them, you can use colored construction paper, anything you have on hand really. And we're going to continue to fill our paper core with little balls of tissue paper. So I'm changing as the colors go. That way I have a nice neat pattern that's going to go around the whole outside of my tree. Just like that. So I'm going to repeat this process until I get back to the first one that I made. I'm going to hold it in place just like that. Now, if you're wondering about that big old hole in the middle, well, don't worry about that. I'm going to show you a fun trick in which you'll never even know it's there. Remember, just taking the strips of tissue paper, giving them a little crunch, little bit. We don't want it to be too tight, right? We don't want to make a tiny little ball like that. We want to just kind of give it a crumble to give it some texture. And then remember, a dot is a lot, my friends. We don't need a lot. Oops. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and place it on there. I'm going to do 2 more. And I think we will top it off with an orange. So now that I have my paper scrunched all the way around my tree, it's looking really full, but we can still see the middle. So I'm going to show you a really quick way to cover it up. So we have that tissue paper that we cut into strips. So I'm going to take a square of it and I'm going to give it a crunch. Remember, I don't want it to be too tight, that is a tiny little ball like this. I want to make it so that it's crumbled so that it looks like a textured piece of tissue paper. And I'm simply going to place that into the middle of our tree so that you can't even tell it was there. And just like that, you have your own paper core tree. Now remember, you could use any color tissue paper that you'd like. You can use colored construction paper or even white paper. Anything you have on hand to make your leaves. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had some fun making a tree using a paper core. It really is a versatile project. You can do as many different colors as you think. You can make any different type of tree that you could think of. I made a palm tree here, and this one I made a fall tree. So anything you can think of, you can make. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.